I have my dream job. But even dream jobs have not so dreamy parts. That's where ServiceNow's AI specialists come in. They don't just tell you what to do about your busy work, they actually do it. That way your team can focus on what matters. To learn how to put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Serve, brought to you by ServiceNow. We have a champion, JW. Linda Nosková.
We have a worthy champion.
Man, that was
an interesting match.
That was it was going to be, the conversation was, man, this is another short women's final. They're going to have to fill some air to
that
drama.
Was we were, someone said, oh, well, great. It's 0-0 and then 2-2.
Yep.
And usually we don't root. We root for good tennis. We root for sportsmanship and stories. I got to say, there was something inside of me that says it's your first time playing in a major. You have 5 match points. You let them go. I don't know if you saw her at the changeovers. One point, she put her fingers in her ears. It looked like my mom when my brother and I were fighting in the back seat. I mean, she said it's an interesting. And then she had her head in a towel. She left the court, and you said, "Oh gosh, this is going to be crushing to this poor woman who was a point away from winning Wimbledon." The reset that she was able to perform, I thought, was so impressive. And she's a Wimbledon champion, is Linda Nosková. That was a real... I'll give you a few things about this match and then jump in. This match, I don't know, Sean, do you have the time handy? It was like 2:20, I'll say, right? Something like that. She went almost 50 minutes without winning a game in the middle of that.
Oh,
so you're up 5-2, and you're suddenly like almost an hour elapses before the numbers change on the scoreboard. But she showed off what we've been talking about all week, right? She's athletic. She can play at the net. I mean, she has a really sort of nifty game, I would say. You said this. She looks like she transitions so smoothly when she comes in. She served pretty well, and she had this lapse. I don't want to say, we're talking about yips. I mean, this was just...
She was nervous.
Flat out nerves. This was just flat out nerves.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've had them all the time. Everyone has them. It's just she had nerves. That's fine.
And I really like Muchova. I was actively rooting for her because I just think it could be so devastating to a young career to come within a point. If you lose love and love, you can say just wasn't my day, reset. This is much different when the finish line is right there and you double fault or you hit the tape.
It's within a point, but it's also...
It's a big point. What?
The lead up to the point, right? It's not as if you had a break point on at 5-6, 30-40, where it's like someone hits an ace. I mean, this was like
5-2, double faulting. You've had a serve.
Yes.
I mean, the way she was able to, whatever she did, whatever she told herself. I think ESPN said she went, when she left the court, and actually went and looked at the trophy for inspiration. That's your network's reporting, which is a nice bit of it's a nice detail. But that she was sitting there with her head in the towel, and I'm saying, oh god, this is such a tell. Imagine you're the opponent and you're seeing the person you're playing covering their head at a 6-5 changeover. For her to come back on the court and give herself a 4-1 lead, I thought that was so impressive. And we have 2 Czechs in the final. We have 1 Czech winning, and I think this was really a mental strength clinic today, along with some pretty entertaining grass court tennis.
Yeah, it was. I think what my emotion was, because I'm a massive Muchova fan. I love watching her play. Like, she can do stuff that I could never do on a court, like back to front, and she's just very pleasing to watch. Right. I thought she gave a great speech at the end. I thought she was she opened with humor and then kind of got serious. I liked that. The thing where I was watching in the end of the second, beginning of the third was, oh God, this could be like a career type hangover, and you don't want to see a young player have to battle those demons, and then you never know how it shakes out. Like, you really don't. So listen, it went from kind of a great final for Nosková, but kind of a meh final for a viewing audience to, oh, this is it became so human, so on the edge, so dramatic, that it brought us in where, now it's going to be one of those things in Wimbledon lore where it's like, gosh, you remember when Nosková was up 6-2, 5-2, championship points, blew it, and then won. It's going to be part of the story now.
I thought this was a great day for the tennis scoring system. right? There's no clock to run out. There's no stalling. We were talking about this. There's no judge who likes the sequins in your costume. But the flip side is it gives you a chance to reset in the third set. My mind. We were talking about this in at Tennis Channel. Someone mentioned Guillermo Coria. We're turning back the clock, but that's a contemporary of yours who not only did he have a match point to win a major, but he really, for injuries too, I'm sure there are other circumstances, but never really recovered from that. That sort of became a capstone of his career, never got close to another major final.
Got the yips on his serve.
Got the yips on his serve and had trouble sort of winning anything.
And didn't he, I hope I'm right on this.
Playing a countryman.
Didn't he like rip a backhand line and miss it by like...
Yeah, I mean, the
like a nothing burger?
The epitaph on his career is as far apart as my hands are. Playing a countryman in a final.
Which, heavy favorite.
Heavy favorite. But no, I thought the set actually ended up, I thought both players, I was really touched by both speeches. And nice day, it's one of these days, tennis does things to your soul sometimes. And this will not go down as one of the great all-time classic matches, but I thought it was actually a very nice day for the sport.
Backstory. Nosková gives her speech. The part where she breaks is when she's thinking of her mother, who had battled cancer. I guess it was. And if I get parts of this, give me grace here. We're all learning to go, but off and on, and then passed before Wimbledon 2 years ago. So layer that in on top of everything: the timing, the place. Maybe just association of your own geography when a tragic life moment happens. And then, these are all humans. These are all people that are dealing with shit, man.
You forget that, right? Life happens to athletes too, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But, a name that we mentioned, like the Czech greats, and it was strange because when Nosková was trying to win, it kind of had visions of Novotná, rest in peace, Jana Novotná, the great champion who won in 98. But in 94, there was a bit of a lead and then let going of the lead. She famously cried on the shoulder. So I'm just going through Czech women at this tournament, and it's like, obviously it all starts and ends with Martina Navratilova,
right.
Trailblazed everything, is the hero for all people. I was touched at how touched she was when Nosková was giving her speech. I thought that was a beautiful moment. And imagine coming off the court, Nosková, and then one of the first hugs you get is from Martina Navratilova.
Right.
Like let's combine Michael Jordan and and Messi all into one person from your country, and that's who is greeting you and welcoming you to that sisterhood of champions. I thought that was fantastic. But I did want to spend a second on Jana Novotná. She had an outsized impact on Barbora Krejcikova. Was her coach. Was just an absolute, hero of Wimbledon, to kind of had let it slip and get that other chance and then beat Tozier in the 98 final. I didn't mention her when we mentioned Czech players, and I wanted to correct that because she was, I loved watching her play, serve and volley, like old school.
Beautiful player to watch.
Beautiful player to watch, and overcame kind of a tragic moment at Wimbledon to win. And then also not with us, but I know a lot of the Czech players mention her as an inspiration. So I was remiss not to mention Jana Novotná, obviously, then Kvitova, and then
who was there today. I mean, that was the other nice thing today.
Vondrousova, and then Krejcikova, and now it's quite the list coming.
Amazing.
Like, it's really amazing
for a small country in Central Europe that had been under communist rule.
Yeah,
and a lot of those players were there. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say something before we move on.
JW, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I just on the Czech players, I looked this up afterwards, right? And they now have 11 women's single slams for the Czech Republic, right? And I think that puts them in fifth, tied with Belgium. But if you were to add Martina, who all of her slams are technically under the American banner, if you were to add her, they would have the fourth most slams of any country ever. Behind America, Australia, and Great Britain. So I think that's pretty cool for a small country.
It's good that doesn't host a major. That's good.
Research.
Yeah,
just look at that.
Look at this guy.
Eat your heart out, ESPN data room. Look at producer
guys.
Mike and his Google. Look at that.
Googleizing.
Or Yahoo. I don't know what your search engine is, but I know that's probably where.
Lycos.com.
At AOL.com.
No, that's good. That's good, though. I mean, keep in mind, too, when you host a major, it's a completely different equation. There's more money coming in. There's more infrastructure. So good day for the for the Czechs.
So there's a ton of conversation, and I hope this moment for Czech women turns into this narrative. All we talk about is Italian infrastructure, this thing, and the Italian champions are coming, and they've built out this whole thing. Like, you covered it. You did a piece on it. Explain quickly, because, let's not assume that everyone's watched everything, but you spent time there. You did it a little bit yesterday, but explain kind of the general infrastructure and strategy and why we're kind of seeing this run of champions, who, by the way, aren't like number one in the world. They just are clutch and win big tournaments.
Yeah, exactly.
On
a variety of surfaces.
Yeah.
It's much different from it. I mean, Italy has their own strategy, which is basically bottom up. We're going to have 1 million. We're going to have clubs. We're going to have a whole bunch of little events. You could have a top 50 ranking in Italy without leaving the country, and you don't have to pay for travel, and your coaches can come. This is a little bit different, where it's seems much more oriented toward the clubs. I think being a small country is a blessing in a lot of ways, that you don't have to. You mentioned this somewhere. One of the
it was one of our corporate talks.
Oh, right. Where you don't have to move from, you don't have to fly from Seattle to Orlando. Yeah. And there is a real. I mean, again, I think the players emulate who they see. So Yana Novotná, you mentioned, this is an attacking player who has a serve and volley game and comes to the net. Well, Barbara Krejcikova, for example, really nice volleys. Martina as the Grand Dame. I also just think that there is an emphasis on athleticism and training, and not just hitting ball after ball after ball. Yeah. And so I think you had a good point that the weather pushes you indoors. What happens in indoors? You learn how to play on faster surfaces. But it's really I was just reading Ivan Lubicic, who works with the French Federation now, going to the Czech Republic to study how are they doing this? How are they pumping this out? So other people are imitating, which is a source of flattery. But no, it's really for the population of the Czech Republic and sort of the climate. It's really an extraordinary tennis story. How over-indexed they are.
I'm hoping that. I mean, it has to. You have enough success from one place. People are going, what's going on?
Yeah, what are they doing? Right?
Yeah. So anyways, all the credit in the world. Muchova fought against Coco, saved the match point, fought today. So props to her. I know what you're feeling. I know what it's like to be in that position. But you did yourself very proud. Like,
you want to? Can I set you up for a quick hot take? I also thought, I really thought her impromptu speech after a terribly disappointing day was right. Are you okay with these speeches on the court? There seems to be a lot of chatter about those, and why do we make no other sport makes the people that don't win the trophy stand up there, and I kind of like it.
I've been against it publicly before, and also like someone made a good point. They're like, well, yeah, but that's what makes tennis unique. And I'm going, okay, that's a great point. Like, I don't know that I have a fully baked opinion of it. My wife is like, why do you make him do this? And then I don't know. It is unique. Like I guess now I'm kind of always looking for ways to tell the story how tennis is totally differentiated from other sports, right? And this is a small thing, and it may not be that important, and it may not, add enough to the story to kind of put someone out there who, they're the last thing they want to do on earth is have to talk in front of people at that moment and talk about, their feelings and, all that. But I've like never turned the channel when someone's giving a runner-up speech. I never have.
Right.
Muchova, like I'm more attached to her journey now because she did it. So I don't like that they have to do it. Sometimes it's brutal. And when the right note is hit, I think it really lands and kind of, I don't know, it encourages fandom of said person.
We were watching this in the Tennis Channel studio, and a colleague I won't name, but who, someone covers the sport. Yes, I didn't know she was that funny.
Yeah.
And they show the coach. Oh, that must be the hitting partner. And you sort of get a sense of the player. I get it. I think you're right too. Tennis is allowed to do things that no other sport does, and that's okay. Just because no one else does it doesn't mean we need to forbid it. But I actually thought,
should there be an option?
Oh, that's interesting.
like Muhova probably would have wanted to congratulate Nosková publicly.
Right.
I don't know that when in my worst moments that I would have not wanted to say, congratulations, well done, thank you, my deepest appreciations for these two. Like, I don't know that I would have, but I don't know. Should there be an option?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to see, we're losers. 7 straight runners-up spoke, and you were the 8th and did. But yeah, that's I like that.
I guess so.
No, but I like giving the players some autonomy.
I don't know.
That's a good. All right.
Yeah, but they could easily go in and say, "Hey, listen, I just couldn't. I just couldn't
gutting.
do it right then."
Exactly. It was so gutting.
Doesn't mean you're not going to press. Like every other
Exactly.
sport, you still got to go to press. But you get an hour and you get a shower.
The words. Yeah, I'm so gutted. Nothing's coming to me. I'll take an hour, cool off, and go to the media.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you can skip out on the pictures and the whole thing, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Ongoing, good. But I used to be pretty like, there are moments when I've been really, really, really against it. And I don't know. I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I can see how it's valuable for the person and I can see how it's valuable for the sport. So, and I feel like someone should be able to make that choice for themselves if they don't want to do it. I don't know.
That's good.
Is that crazy?
Right, we solved it. It's sold. Next.
Okay, good. There's a men's final
I heard.
tomorrow.
Who's playing?
Early thoughts.
The head-to-head record and especially the momentum does not favor the second seed. Then that's Zverev. Let's be clear. We're talking about Jannik Sinner playing Zverev, the first seed and the second seed. I think we're up to 14 straight sets that Sinner has won. It's been 3 years almost since Zverev has defeated the person he's obligated to try and defeat tomorrow. And yet, Zverev is 3 sets away from pulling on. We should call it the Eurostar double now. It used to be the Channel double. Zverev's played really well, and Zverev did not have much of a track record on grass. And you know what? I think you could make a case. He has solved the grass riddle, and I think I haven't seen the odds. I mean, I think Sinner's going to be a favorite. If Sinner can serve the way he did against Novak and dial in the ground stroke.
Sinner plays the way he did against Novak. Yeah,
Sinner plays the way against Novak. This is, another 4-4-4 special. But I think it could be interesting, and I think that Zverev has really been pretty impressive coming off that. And I don't know, does winning, maybe we're reading too much into this, but maybe finally he's won his major, and it has completely unburdened him, and now the spigot is tapped, and he's ready to put another one on the board. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go to a major final against a player I hadn't beaten in 3 years, who I've gone 14 sets, and even some of these sets are a lot.
He beat him 1-2 in Madrid, and he beat him 0-1 at the end of last year.
Yeah,
0-1.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for some candy?
Go for it.
All right. Sinner has held like 65 straight times against Zverev. Zverev's hold rate against Sinner over the course of these 9 matches, or somewhere around there, is about 70%. The rest, for instance, Wimbledon this year is 95%. That's a massive difference. And if I'm coaching Zverev, you want to know what I'm telling him? Sinner's average return point, right, is way deeper in the court on Zverev's first serve than where he plays against everyone else. So that is a strategy where he's given himself more time on clay and then is like, I can find my way back to neutral after that ball. I don't think that works on grass. I don't think you can stand 7, 8, 9 feet behind the baseline to return Zverev's first serve on grass. Zverev has a big serve. He has a very accurate serve, but it's not like, for as big as it is, it's not one that you hit a ton of aces on.
Right.
So on a court that doesn't give you love, sliding through the court, I get where Sinner can drop back. I don't know that he's going to be able to drop back on that first serve and have it work as much as it has in the past. So if I'm Zverev, I'm going, this is a different game. This surface, while it's not your favorite, is actually good for you tomorrow. Like, it is good for you. Obviously, the patterns that he can find on slower surfaces, clay, Indian Wells, et cetera, aren't great for you.
Right.
A lot of those patterns and the sequencing and the volume of those patterns won't be available on grass, especially it's baked out. It is hot. It is brown. It is going through. So I would kind of start there, and I would say, listen, you're going to get more love on your returns. It's going to get through the court. If you firm up a return, he's not going to be able to jump on you on that first ball. I don't know if I believe it, but that's what I'd be telling him.
Right. I got a little confused who you were talking about. So if you're Zverev, you're positioning yourself where?
Sorry, excuse me. Sinner's return position against Zverev's serve is significantly further back than against other players. So he has found that when he drops back on Zverev's first serve, he can find
get to the bubble. We'll work our way back.
Payoff. I'm strong enough and long enough to actually fight that off. And then once I get to neutral, obviously pound forehand. Create space, pound forehand. Create space, pound forehand. It's not dissimilar to what he did to Novak. Zverev has a very good forehand when he has time. He has a very good forehand when he's kind of, when the shot isn't firm and he's kind of gliding right, he can open up the shoulders. Pinned. So if Sinner goes hard back and cross and he has to hit an inside-out forehand, that has to have some loop on it. He does not rip that ball. So I would be telling him the patterns that have not worked for you and have worked against you, against Jannik Sinner, won't be as available to Jannik Sinner against you on this court on grass. Delete Madrid. We don't give a shit about Madrid. Delete whatever.
No, you're right.
Anything
you
that
haven't
was slow.
Had anything comparable. You look at their head-to-heads, and they're indoors. They're in altitude. You haven't had anything even remotely.
No, I don't know. I definitely believe in the return thing.
Right.
I think I'm so curious. If Jannik can back way up and return his first serve on grass, then more power to him. I know for a fact it's not as easy to back up and return a first serve on grass.
Right.
So that would be the thing that I'm harping on over and over and over again. But Sinner, it's weird. You're looking at the serving stats, and Zverev is obviously elevated, but Sinner's leading in aces. Yeah. He's leading in a lot of massive serve categories. I think he's the favorite, and also I actually, for a given matchup and a given time, I think I can sell effectiveness to Zverev, even in the face of losing the last 9, and a lot of them being really lopsided to Sinner.
I like that. I mean, I like you go through those 9 results. I mean, the score, some of those scores,
they're brutal. They're not close.
Yeah. 14 sets.
1-2, 0-1 were 2 of the match scores. That is, that's like a 12. And I mean, and Sinner said, he's basically said the nicest version and the most appropriate version of, I hate this matchup.
Right. Zverev said that.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, again, one thing you got to give Zverev is he's a realist. I mean, there's not a lot of self-delusion, at least when it comes to tennis. I do think a few things. One is, wasn't it a few nights ago, or maybe a week ago, that we said head-to-head favors Taylor Fritz, and how does it feel to take the court against a guy you've lost to 7 times in a row? He's already proven to himself that these streaks can be broken. I do think, do you remember when your match, when you played Roger, when did your matches start? I don't think they started at 4 in the afternoon, did they? I mean, it's a little strange that we have a 4 o'clock start, which...
Well, let's think about it. I mean, the Rafa Roger one was darkness.
But then had rain delays and...
Did it? I mean...
I don't remember.
I guess it's 4.
So anyway, we're taking...
It's bad that my answer to this, when I don't often say this on the show, is I don't remember.
No, that's all right. It was no, my point is a late afternoon sort of takes heat and humidity and climate out of this.
So basically I had the data heads at ESPN. They were talking about heat, and this was before Sinner Djokovic.
Right.
And I was like, when is it fully covered? Can we go back? And so they went back to the previous day's telecast, and we were able to match up time of day and whatever.
Yeah.
It's completely covered by 6:20. The court's completely, so they have by the time, if 4 o'clock is advertised, that means they're not actually hitting first ball till 4:15, 4:20.
Right. Coin flips. And
they got an hour and 40 minutes on grass. You run 30% less than you do on extreme surfaces. I don't think the heat is an issue.
No, that's my point. That if you're in the Zverev camp, you can't say, let's make this a physical match and let's see if he wilts in the conditions. Not with a 4 o'clock start. But I don't know. I mean, I think some of this is X's and O's. I think some of this is Zverev's first major champ, where he comes in swollen, imbued with the knowledge that he can win. I mean, he's done it. He knows he can win 7 of these matches. He's proven it.
He also did say, I believed I could win Roland Garros when Sinner lost.
That's true. Yeah. I would hope he would say that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, you again, not ideal to go into a final against a guy you've played a lot and haven't beaten in 3 years, but we'll see. None of those losses. I mean, I was looking at it's hard to extrapolate too much onto grass, those defeats.
I would choose. Sinner's the favorite. I would, if I'm picking Sinner, and I think I could look into Sasha's eyes and
Give him a pep talk.
give him some nuggets of belief, like that I actually, wouldn't, that I would believe.
Right.
If this goes the right way, if you do this, he's not going to be able to do this pattern. He's going to have a harder time getting this look, as in the past. So don't go in thinking you have to be perfect. Go in knowing that his go-to looks that he's been bruising you on for 3 years are going to be tougher to get. He still might get them sometimes. He still might drop back at a big point and, read the return right and be able to go back. But at scale, they're going to be a lot harder to get consistently, especially with the way you're playing, especially with the way you're hitting the forehand, especially the way that you've been coming in, especially now that you've kind of, deleted slam anxiety, or at least gotten rid of it, for a little bit. Can you think of someone going into a slam final with less, I want to think about how to phrase this, with less nerves than they would have had like the 2 months before, right? Like, so just level set.
No.
I think he's going in tomorrow. He's like Rip City.
I think it's almost an.
And I think most
right?
people like, you're playing with the house's money. No one ever feels that way when you have a Wimbledon title. And Zverev feels that way as much as anyone in the last little while in a Wimbledon final.
Exactly.
I think. I mean, I don't know.
Well, and then you could flip that. You could keep going with that and say, as dominant as Sinner has been, if he does not win tomorrow, he will hold 0 majors.
He could get shut out of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you ask some questions of probe the forehand. I mean, yeah, it's easy to see this being an intriguing match.
I think Zverev's going to hold. I mean, it's not going to be a 70% hold rate.
Right.
Like, he's going to hold serve, and if you can get it, like, the first thing is like, let's get it to 3-all, 4-all, 5-all. Let's make it a grind in a situational matchup, as opposed to
70.
I mean, when when Sinner's front running and he's not having to deal with heat, it's brutal.
Right. I mean, just 70% just to level set at this tournament.
He's 95%.
Cumulatively, the men, Cumulatively, the men are 80%.
Zverev's 95% hold
90,
rate.
So 80% is the baseline for 95% here for Zverev. So when you look at those
I'll put it this way:
matches,
if Zverev held 70% of the time against everyone else,
he wouldn't be ranked.
He wouldn't be ranked.
Right.
He wouldn't be
exactly.
He wouldn't be any. I mean, he wouldn't be on tour.
Right.
So I don't know. I could make an argument. I think Sinner wins, but obviously we're going to see Sinner. I'm curious to see what he does in first serve returns. How much he adjusts what's worked based on grass. That's going to be the first chess match I look for in the first 3 points that he plays on return. We know he's going to, create space, open up the shoulders to Zverev's forehand over and over and over and over and over again. Is Zverev going to roll that one cross? Is he going to take some more chances line? Is he going to stress test going big off the back end middle and seeing if Sinner tries to pull that one? There's a lot of miniature chess matches, but the first one and the biggest one, the most obvious one, is Sinner simply breaks this guy all the time, and no one else does all the time. How does that kind of translate on this surface, which is completely different than what they have played on in recent history? What else we got? Oh, the stat of the day is a good one.
What do we got?
Yeah.
52. Bueller, 52. Anyone?
Weeks in the year?
What do you got? Oh, yeah.
Great job. Now we're just naming random things. 52nd. The women's final was the 52nd 3-setter in the women's draw.
That's a lot.
And Coco only played 32 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you, Coco Gauff.
Yeah. 52, all-time record. Any slam.
Wow.
It's pretty fun.
All-time record, any slam, that's crazy.
So there are 127 matches in a draw. So whatever that is, 40% of the matches are going 3 sets. Wow, including the final.
Pretty fun.
Is that quirky grass, parity of field, fight? I don't know.
Yes.
What do you attribute that to?
Yes.
Everything. Yeah, it doesn't have to be one.
Yes.
All right.
Yes to all of it. All right, well, final tomorrow. And then, guys, we're starting to think about, well, I guess Mike's already there. We're starting to think about going home.
Been a while.
But
wow.
It's nice. I'm really excited to go home. I'm also excited that it's felt like home here, guys.
I know. I can hear the family in the background. It sounds like they're having a great time.
You can hear.
Very well-behaved children.
You can hear the movie going. It's because the home that I found on Airbnb. It's felt good. Love Wimbledon
I know. We're
because
gonna
of
have to
this
get in
whole
front
experience.
of it for next year.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You can make a call. You know someone.
Yeah, we
Seriously,
might know
get in
somebody. Maybe we'll
early.
give it a dial.
Reserve for next year.
I
might just leave the studio set up.
I would stay at this home for a very long time. I'll just tell you that much right now. We hope that you stay with us for a very long time. Thank you for listening to us. What are we doing? We have a recap show probably tomorrow release.
Yep.
So we'll do it before we leave England.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do another quick serve and recap.
Quick served, and then we'll do the recap show, but that'll be out on Tuesday, I'm guessing. But we'll do it from here tomorrow night. I don't think the results will change by the time Tuesday comes, right?
Well, I don't think so.
Something we've got profoundly
Anyway, so a little
wrong.
bit more to do from our home studio here. Thanks for hanging with us over the last 2 weeks. This has been Served, brought to you by ServiceNow. We'll see you tomorrow.
I have my dream job, but even dream jobs have not so dreamy parts. That's where ServiceNow's AI specialists come in. They don't just tell you what to do about your busy work, they actually do it. That way your team can focus on what matters. To learn how to put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.